Hello!
Hello, both to our wonderful and faithful audience, and you, Brian.
Oh, thanks. Glad I was included.
Yeah, yeah.
This is episode 5, I believe, of our now 7-part Pokemon game series, where we have taken game ideas for Pokemon Past and Pokemon Future, and we are now creating the art assets for them. We are going to do some gym leaders this episode. Go over the gym leaders in our
Gym
region.
badges.
/ gym badges. You did gym
Yeah.
badges. So yeah, I guess, would you like to get us started on that?
Sure. Quick recap. My region is called Passali. It is based off of Italy. You can check out the art I've done of the region on past episodes of the series. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the first piece of artwork I have. So this is my world map, and you can see I've put the different badges the trainer can get over each major city. So I'll kind of walk through these after I finish explaining each of these badges. So you'll notice that the star chart also matches the path that the player goes on in the map. I wanted this to be kind of a astrology. Is astrology the zodiacs, or is it astronomy? Astronomy is the stars.
Astronomy is real stars. Astrology is zodiac.
Okay,
yes.
Astronomy. I really wanted or I guess both would fit. But I wanted to do like a star constellation theme for this, where they're kind of charting their course. So, and it also kind of has to do with the past, because like the constellations tell stories or legends. So I thought it kind of fit in with the past theme. So the first, I based all 10 of these badges and eventually these gym leaders off of 10 Roman gods. So the first one, with the little king or the crown and the wings, is based off of Jupiter, the king of the gods. So they're the god of light and sky. So I was thinking kind of royal type Pokemon, so like dragon types, flying types. The next one is Neptune, god of the sea. So pretty basic water and beach themed Pokemon you'd find on the shores. The next one is Pluto, the god of the underworld. So I have dark and ghost type Pokemon. The third one is Apollo, god of the sun and music. I think Jello Apocalypse had the same concept, but it seems to be a pretty reoccurring gym leader theme.
Yeah, I'd say that's it's a fair theme to think of things that are not necessarily a type. That's like a theme that's not a type. Yeah,
I felt bad doing it, but that's like
God
of music. Like, it fit with where I was going anyway, so I don't feel bad about using that. But yeah, so we have a music type Pokemon would be here. The next one is Mars, the god of war. So fighting type, steel type would be nice here. The next one is Cupid, god of love. So I was thinking fairy type. I was thinking like love type Pokemon, like Love Disc, or Pokemon that would kind of are Cupid-esque in theming. It's kind of, it when you see it.
Sure.
Pokemon. The next one is Saturn, god of time. So I thought it'd be neat if he had really high level first evolution stages for Pokemon, but then he also had the final evolution stage of that same Pokemon chain. So we're kind of playing with like age there. The next one is Vulcan, god of fire and forging. Right now, I just have it as fire. I was thinking of fire and steel because it is forging, but I've already kind of played around with steel previously, so kind of teetering on that. The next one is Mercury, god of poetry and eloquence. So I was thinking psychic types, and then like artists. So any Pokemon that you'd be like, that's a deep thinker. And the last one is
baby.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Bacchus,
Bacchus.
Bacchus. Yep.
The
And
party god.
god of fertility. So I was thinking like the Pokemon that you get exclusively from hatching the eggs, and then also like mother type Pokemon. So like Chansey because it has the egg, Genghis Khan because it has the baby in the pouch, Pokemon like that.
Okay.
And then
I can dig it.
I themed it to my world map. So you kind of have the god of the sea on the beach. I was thinking there could be like a volcano tribal type thing in the jungle here. I thought of like these two towers, and I was like, oh, like Romeo and Juliet. Like maybe there's a love story going on in this
That'd be
town.
Cool. Yeah.
And it's also like the love based leaders here. For Venisa, I was thinking like it's kind of based off of Venice. A lot of artists were kind of centered in Venice, so I was like, that could be the philosophy place. I have an island on the top where the time badge would be, so I'm thinking like island lost in time. Maybe there's like a really old hermit gym leader who's there. Brome, obviously that's where my warrior is gonna go. Vaughn, king of the gods, I have in the Vatican City. For the igloo ice place, I have the baby type Pokemon, and my explanation is that they it's like a genealogy research lab, and they freeze ancient Pokemon eggs and catalog them. And so like one of the genetics researchers has a bunch of these eggs and hatched Pokemon from it, and is a gym leader there. So that's why he's in a giant snow globe. For those who are gonna at me saying it doesn't make sense. Detali has the music based one. That was I'm still figuring that one. I just went into an elaborate thing about the egg, but I can't figure out how to fit music in.
I mean, music can be anywhere.
Into Detali.
It's your region. You can decide that is a place for musicians.
I'll have. You
can decide that.
I'll have a more in lore reason in the future. And then in Geta, which is inside of a mountain, I thought maybe there's a part of the mountain that just goes deep, deep down into the darkness, and that's where this gym leader resides. And he's a very dark figure based off of the god of the underworld. So you kind of go into hell for a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, the Pokemon game where you go to hell.
Yeah. It's a Japanese RPG. I'm honestly surprised. I mean, you've already fought God in the series before.
You've captured God.
You captured God. Why can't you go to the Pokemon underworld?
Yeah.
Come on, take some notes, Game Freak.
That was my other suggestion if we for games, because I did a couple things
Pokemon
on my
Heaven and Hell.
Pokemon Virtue and Vice was my thing, so it'd be you do the gym leaders would be the 7 virtues and 7 vices or whatever, and or seven deadly sins. Yeah. But yeah,
that'd be neat. I don't know the benefits in picking Vice though. They're both kind of equal, but one of them's just this one.
I think it would just be I think it'd just be the story. No, I don't think it would be that. I think it'd be there wouldn't necessarily be any inherent differences like most Pokemon games, but it would just be thematically you're probably facing against a different team, and you're going through and you're whatever. It's not this video. Maybe we'll do that in the
another
future.
sequel series. We'll be doing this forever.
We'll just do Pokemon games till the end of time.
Yeah, there we go. I'm ready to get wrecked. I'm ready to see what you've come up with. Apparently you have gym leader character sketches, which
I decided to do characters, but I failed and succeeded simultaneously. Let's see. I decided to do characters, which I knew would be too many characters to try and do with my allotted time because I knew I had other responsibilities and things I had to do this week, and I'd be going out of town and all that. So I knew I wouldn't finish. However, I know we're doing a redo episode next week, so I just figured I would do like a half done this week and then finish them next week.
All right, yeah, next week is going to be our anything that we want to add to things that we've already made.
Yeah.
That's our free day to refine some of our stuff.
So. It's our free day. It's our recess. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Or I guess I'll ask when we're finished with this video.
Sure. So I did fire. So I tried to do like kind of a rainbow, and then I very quickly realized there is not a red Pokemon type, which is strange. Fighting is the closest, and it's like kind of a reddish, brownish color. So that's my red. But yeah, I'm just kind of laying the groundwork right now. I'm doing some poses. I looked up some references and very quickly just kind of laid down some poses. My fighting is very clearly like a boxer. My fire is going to be a firefighter. I laid down the electric, but you can't really tell what it's going to be yet. The flying is the one I love the most. I love him so much. He's a mail carrier.
He's a postal worker. Nice.
Yeah. Water's a surfer. It had to be. It's Australia. We got Poison, and it's not immediately clear what he's going to be, but he is going to be, I guess, research partners with the Grass gym leader. And they're both like kind of scientists. So the Grass gym leader is a female scientist, and then the Poison gym leader is a male scientist. Okay. Flying is my favorite. I had the most fun with him, and I finished his concept very early on compared to everyone else. So
he's kind of like maybe he kind of looks like a pilot.
A little, yeah. A little. The cap is like, I looked up what a postal carrier cap is, and it's pretty much like all the like, what do you call them? All caps in like professions like police and postal carriers and airline pilots, they all are kind of the same, like that admiral style cap, whatever you call it. Yeah, I like the fighting guy too. I think he's interesting. I plan on making and I'll say their names as later on I name them, so I'll get to that when it happens. But the fighting and the fairy are brothers. I was trying to kind of connect them a little bit, have some interpersonal relationships, because I know that was one of my favorite parts of Sword and Shield is the characters, the gym leaders having relationships with each other. I think is neat.
Mm-hmm.
So
I see you're also, one thing I really appreciate about watching time lapses of your work is you incorporate this strategy, which I always fail to do it when I'm working. But like you kind of like either you get stumped or you get bored. You like stop with one thing and then you jump over to another character.
That I
so
quickly
you're able
move
to continue
on.
to
Yeah.
Yes. I think that's really cool. You can kind of like see you kind of like, all right, now like
yeah,
I'm gonna set this down, I'm gonna move over here. It's like watching a chef cook and they're like doing multiple things at the same time.
So electric, I decided kind of midway through his design I was going to do like a Super Sentai like Power Ranger as my electric gym leader. Yeah, they're coming together. So,
and I really like the hair on all of them.
Thanks.
Poison has some really nice hair.
Thank you. Like I said, flying is my favorite. I think successfully, like he is. There's something about him that I think I captured well. That like the other ones are a little stiff. My poses, my character drawing isn't the like. It's not as good as the artists I follow on Twitter. You know, that kind of feeling. So I'm like just trying to through this series trying to push myself to like go past that, do more like what do you call them when you I forget the word, but just do more do more sketching, a little more free, loose, rough sketching, I guess. But yeah, so I kind of get rid of the fairy because I didn't like the pose, and I
really
the
pose looked pretty good.
Yeah, I kind of went back and forth on what I should do with him. So they all kind of have professions. Is kind of the thing, and I think that was a thing in. Is that part of Sword and Shield? Do they all have professions? I think it
Um,
is. Because I think, like, yeah, there's like the model and there's like the farmer and like, yeah, the
I
actor,
think
yeah.
okay. I was about to say like, were those hobbies or interests, or were
I mean, the model gets
they
paid for
like,
modeling.
okay,
So,
yeah,
um, yeah, no, so my thing was like, yeah, I think I like the idea of they're just like people that exist in the world and like they still have things they do. They're not like full time sitting in a gym waiting for people. They have things that they're actively doing when it's not that time, which I think is important. So, like the fire gym leader is a firefighter, and I don't necessarily, I guess, in this world, um, Power Rangers are like actual like heroes going out and saving the day. So he's not just like some actor on a TV show. He's actually doing things. So I started to get the fairy design back in. I was trying to do some sort of like Jigglypuff curl on the top because he's fairy.
uh
Um,
huh.
and ultimately, I decided he was going to be a like pastry chef. I think was a fun idea. So
Ooh,
I thought I
that's
was gonna
cool.
make him a like an astronomer, but I decided against that. So here are their names.
I was like, is that like a roller or
Yeah.
something?
So we've got Xander, who's the fighter. Alexander is like a name that means fighting. Kai is the fire gym leader. We've got Ryden, who's the electric gym leader. Heather is grass. Skylar is the flying gym leader. Ripley is the water, which I think I love that name. Lachlan is poison, and then Joy is the fairy gym leader. So I'm mostly happy with their names and the
Yeah,
concepts.
I
I
think they
think they
all
could use
fit.
a little refining, but
Haven't we had a gym leader named Skylar before?
I don't think so. I looked up Skylar and I didn't see anything, so maybe I'm
Hmm.
wrong though. I just typed Pokemon Skylar and the first thing I saw was like um,
Maybe
a
there's just a character
very
named Sky or something. Maybe I
maybe
think that's what I'm thinking of.
Skyla is a gym leader.
Skyla, that's who I'm thinking of.
Yeah, Skyla is a black and white gym leader. So I didn't see that when I first
Yeah,
did this because I might have named him something else, but now he's Skylar. So maybe
yeah.
it'll change next week.
Well, there's Skylar and Skyla. Skyla.
Yeah.
I think that I think like on average, you nailed the Pokemon faces in the last character illustration that we did. I know you weren't too
Hmm.
happy with the trainers' faces, but here you've definitely like you've kind of mastered the eye placement.
Thanks. I feel like I've gotten a little better. There's definitely like they're not done. And I like with 100% of my being, they are not finished. These are just like the general ideas for them. Um, I'm not used to drawing 8 people a week. I
Yeah.
know they don't seem like the most elaborate drawings, but I'm not used to doing that. So, yeah, overall, I mean, I had fun with it. They're going to need more refining for next week. And then I'm going to also, I don't know if I'll do a full color on all of them. We'll see. That might also be too ambitious for my current skill set, but maybe I'll try. But yeah, you can see them all lined up together. And my whole thought process, my Pokemon Future is very largely based on like rainbows and colors, and uh, I wanted the gym leader's arc around the region of Aziri to kind of chromatically work as a rainbow of sorts. So
Okay.
obviously I threw in pink there because a rainbow is 7 colors. But I thought that maybe would balance out the fact that there wasn't a real red. I don't know.
It would be cool if like one of the gym leaders was the son or daughter of two other ones,
Maybe.
and their color representation is like what you get when you mix those two other colors.
Yeah, that could work.
I don't know. That's just that's like my first thought with
Well,
like
all the primary colors are men, so I don't know if that will work.
Hey, they can visit the genetics lab in my region, and they'll figure something out. Well,
Yeah, but
that's cool.
that's
I
it.
think Kai is definitely my favorite
The
design.
firefighter.
Yeah,
Mm.
I really like that idea, and I also like I I like the I I like the costume, like holding on to the straps, but then like
Mm.
the like I I think just because I also really like it in Promare too, just like the the like
I should
poofy
have looked at Promare to see like
firefighter
costume stuff.
pants.
That would have been a good idea. Maybe I'll do
I
that and fix it up for next week.
I think just fictional firefighter type costumes and stuff just look
Mm.
really cool to me.
It was also like I definitely wanted the because when people say firefighter, oftentimes one would assume that's like a very masculine driven career
Mm-hmm.
path. So that's why I definitely chose. I wanted the women in the game to. I know we've had a lot of surfer type, like water type gym leaders as women. So I had thought about making the water type male, and then doing something like doing a different type for the female, but ultimately my brain just I just immediately started sketching like a woman with a surfboard, so I just kept that. And then the other two I wanted to show like a scientist who's a female, not just like other grass gym leaders we have is like Erica from the first game, who's just kind of like a very pretty like lady. I think she's probably a model too. Uh, and Fire, I mean, we have Flannery, but I don't know what she does. I wanted someone that was maybe a little bit tougher seeming. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
overall, I'm very happy with them. I think they're fun. Um, it definitely was a challenge of like thinking of what the other gym leaders in the past were and like what they look like and trying to avoid that. Just because we have
Yeah,
at this point in the series we have what 8 mainline games.
yeah, and that's and each game has 8 gym leaders plus
Yeah,
if you want to count the elite four. So
right.
that's
So
those are a lot of characters to
it's
avoid.
yeah, so it's like 64 plus 30 something. I don't know. So it's there's like well over 100 um, gym leader type characters in the series. So I definitely there were points where I was like, man, like this looks way too similar to something else. I have to change it.
Yeah,
But yeah, so
it's fun that we're doing this because it also adds a lot of insight to what the developers probably have to go through when they're working on stuff like this because that's something where on the surface I never really spent too much time thinking about the process of creating new gym leaders and stuff and
yeah,
how they're trying to create original characters that are different than everything else before, but
but still retain the style that
yeah,
makes it like match everything. Yeah,
yeah. But props to them. I mean, obviously, like I think Sword and Shield, like the like I'm not the biggest fan of the game, but like by far it has like the best character designs I think in the entire series. Like the human characters
yeah.
I love them all.
I'm trying to think. What do you think the? I'm gonna look up gym leaders. What do you think the least represented type is? But I'm not counting fairy because it's so late in the series. All the other types that have been around since at least Gen 2. What I would say maybe Dark and Steel that were added in Gen 2 probably have the least. I can't think of many gym leaders that are Dark and Steel.
I'm a very casual Pokemon fan, so my passion for the series does not extend to me
Gotcha.
knowing all the types of the gym leaders, sadly. So I can't help you there.
Let me see. I'm just curious. Okay, so I'm gonna go through the list, and we'll kind of. I want to see if we can see any patterns, I guess, or whatever. Because there's usually a water gem leader, like in most games. So in the first one, we have Brock, who's rock type, Misty, who's water type, Lieutenant Surge, who's electric, Erica is grass, Koga is poison, Sabrina is psychic, Blaine is fire, and then we have Giovanni, who is ground. Ground.
Yeah, yeah.
I was thrown off because
So they're all
it could also be blue, I guess, in the Let's Go series, or I don't know.
every what was I gonna say? Every mainline Pokemon game, the gyms are always monotype, right? It's always like
yeah. I thought about doing a dual type. I think I would have if I had more time, to be honest. Like do dual types with all of them. To try and incorporate like almost every type in the Pokemon series. But ultimately I felt that might be too ambitious for what we're doing right now. But yeah, so I mean, we've gotten the second one. We've got flying, bug, normal, ghost, fighting, steel, ice, dragon. So no dark type yet. I'm looking at the third. I'm just gonna Google.
Yeah, I was gonna
Which
say like
type?
there's so many games. It might take a lot of time for us to read through that list. But if there was like a comprehensive spreadsheet,
which type
Bulbapedia
has the
definitely
least
has to
gem
have something.
leaders? This is 2013, so I'm gonna try and find something a little
Bug
newer.
type? Is there a bug type gem?
Oh yeah, there's a couple. Okay, here's a graph. When is this from? Make sure it's not outdated. In 2017, so we can just kind of...
Yeah, we could just...
I have the Sword and Shield ones in my brain, yeah. So, I have a type list, and Fairy is obviously the least. The most is Fighting. I think a Fighting one appears in every game, which is interesting. Either a gym or...
makes sense, because it's...
Okay, so this is interesting. So they have it split up into... Maybe I'm wrong. So actually Electric is the one that appears the most. They have it split into gyms and Elite Four in the same category. So combining those two, a fighting type trainer appears in every game for those. Next is Electric, which is all gym leaders, there are 6 electric gym leaders, which I think is crazy. That's a lot. Next is Water, it looks like, with 5 gym leaders.
Yeah, there are a lot of water gems.
Grass also has 5. Normal has 4. The one with the least, would you like to take a guess? And this is prior to Sword and Shield, so would you like to take a guess at the least?
I would have initially have guessed Bug, but I guess I'll change it to like maybe Psychic.
Okay, are you ready?
That's gonna be my guess.
Are you ready for me to reveal? The lowest used gym. God, I can't. Like my words aren't
building
coming
the
out.
Suspense here.
The lowest used type in Pokemon gyms is Dark.
I was kind of close.
Which only had 1 until Sword and Shield, which then obviously we have 2 now. With Marnie's older brother, I forget his name, but so now we have 2, which is interesting. Fairy had 2, but that they were added like 2, 1 or 2 cycles ago. 2 cycles ago. 2 generations. They were
added with X and Y, yeah.
Yeah.
I was so hyped when they were announced.
Maybe that's 3, because X and Y, Sun and Moon, and then now.
Yeah.
So they've been in 3 gens. And they have 1 for every time that they've appeared, they've had a gym leader to make up for some lost time.
Before X and Y came out, I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was like, "Oh well, the next big thing they're probably gonna do when they add Pokemon or with Pokemon is like, I mean, there's always the possibility of adding a 4th evolution, or just adding like a new type." I think type maybe. I don't think a 4th evolution will ever come. Well, this is my promise. Besides mega evolutions, if you count that technically could be a 4th evolution. Well, I'm getting there. So I was like, like 4th evolutions or like adding a new type.
Okay.
And both were shot down. And then he was like, he was like, there's no way they're gonna add a new type. Like it would ruin the entire meta, and like it would ruin the balancing and everything. And then X and Y was announced, and they added mega evolutions, and then they added the fairy type, and I was like, I am God. Like everybody must bow before me, and my all knowing 800-pound brain. But yeah, no, they would never add like an official evolution. I think regional variance is like that. That's where the line is drawn with like a fourth form.
Right. It'll always be. It'll revert to something, or there will never be 4 consecutive evolution or 3 evolutions. I guess. Whatever.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to have a Pokemon that could evolve into different forms. Like, imagine like an Eevee.
I was gonna say Eevee.
Imagine like an Eevee where you could give it a Firestone and it turns into Flareon, but it doesn't stop there. Like you can give it a Water Stone and then it would turn into a Vaporeon still, and it would just be a Water type, and you could just keep changing its type by giving it a different stone. That would be kind of interesting.
I feel like there is some. You're just kind of thinking of like.
I'm thinking of gimmicks, just evolution gimmicks, and
I was gonna say like, it just sounds like maybe Arceus. I always say it wrong. Arceus or Arceus? Which one is it?
I've always pronounced it Arceus.
I've always said it that way too, but I've always seen it Arceus. I've always been like
Ryan Reynolds pronounces it Arceus in Detective Pikachu. So.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh.
He goes, "Sweet mother of Arceus."
Oh. Okay, well that's all the confirmation I need then.
Thank you, Ryan Reynolds.
But no, I like because he has the plates that make him changes. Oh, and Silvally in the last game, or Type Null or whatever.
Oh, okay.
That Pokemon that you give it a thing and it basically is that type.
But it doesn't like change forms, though, right?
No, but I mean it looks like an amalgamation of. It's basically what you're describing without like physically changing shape.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think, because then I was like, well, maybe you can give them like weapons, but then that's like a very tight. That's a tightrope that you got to, because it's like you can't give them like spears or swords, but then like what would fit within the lore of the games that like, how can you extend past what they have without it turning into Digimon?
Well, you
can't.
Like
armor.
You can't.
I don't know.
Because Digimon have armor. They've got the like mega evolutions. They've got the things
Digimon has everything.
Digimon has everything.
Just consume that. Watch Digimon. Play those games.
We're Digimon apologists on this channel. Digimon did nothing wrong.
Let's all migrate to Digimon now.
From this point, we shift and we're started Digimon game.
You know what? Screw it. Like, what we have enough stuff. We can rework this to a Digimon.
It would be fun to do an episode, and this is just like maybe I'll cut this out, maybe I'll leave it in. It'd be fun to do an episode where we do a Digimon evolution, and it's like we do like a random generator of like words or like a character or something. So it's like because Digimon, like it'll be like a little stuffed teddy bear, and then it'll evolve into like a giant pumpkin, and then the next one will be like a dragon with like 5 heads, and like they're nowhere near related, but it'd be fun to do like a Digimon evolution where we like randomize it or something. I don't know.
That'd be pretty funny.
But yeah, kind of like a Drawfee thing. I love Drawfee videos.
I've been watching them a lot.
I want us to not be budget Drawfee, but like
I don't see a problem with it. I think Drawfee, like I don't want it to be like a one prompt episode thing like Drawfee. Yeah. I like doing series. I think doing a one-off every now and then is fine, like and this definitely needs to be cut out, but like the Mario idea I had,
I'm gonna leave it in.
the Mario idea,
yeah.
I think that would be like a nice like one episode thing. We kind of create like our own custom power up, and then we kind of do 1 or 2 other little things, and we just do a small.
I'm gonna make a dog suit.
I'm gonna push the cat theme further.
Give them a scratching.
I'm gonna have them like cough up hairballs and. I don't know how else I can push it, but there's a cat Bowser in the game, And I'm very surprised that you don't like the cat theme, because I feel like
Cat
Bowser design is
Bowser
good.
looked kind of cool when I just looked at that. I hadn't seen it before earlier when we were talking about it, but the other ones, like, I think it's the shape, like the pose that they're in is like very cat girl, like weird. Like, I never in my life thought I would see like a Mario cat girl, but that's what I like felt like I'm
It's
looking
definitely
at.
one of the weirder power ups, but like your fixation on it is what fascinates me. Like that,
It doesn't agree with me. I think it's like if you eat at a restaurant and you're like, yeah, the food's good, but like I had something and it just absolutely destroyed my stomach. That's what it looks like visually looking at this game to me. I don't know.
It feels outside looking in it. It looks like to use that same analogy. It looks like, oh, like I don't want to go into this restaurant because there's this one item on the menu that doesn't look good. Like everything else, like
sure, but if I've been to 5 other McDonald's and they were all fine and like I didn't have strong feelings either way, and then I see this last McDonald's and I'm like, yeah, there's something in there I don't like, I'm just not gonna go to McDonald's. Like, I feel like that's fine.
That's just it's a new nugget of knowledge I now possess. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it moving forward, but
I also like. Well, this was a conversation we had off camera, and maybe I'll cut all of this. I don't know, because like I'll probably have to, because if we
it
want
needs to be documented.
Okay.
You need to do something with it, but I don't know what.
So earlier you made the analogy of like, okay, why don't I like the Mario Cat thing, but I like Cats the movie?
Yeah,
Cats the movie is a train wreck. Like it is off the rails. The entertainment is that it has gone so far, they didn't know when to stop, and now they can't stop. Like that's the good thing about it. And like watching it, ironically at first, I unironically liked aspects of it, like some of the songs, which are not the terrible parts. You know, like the songs are. If you just had a soundtrack, the songs are fine. You know, most of them. They're just. I mean,
yeah.
It's no. I mean, yeah, some people will probably like the original soundtrack more, but like it's fine.
Sure. Yeah.
The horrifying part is the cat people with the fucking human faces, the human noses, or what. Like that's the horrifying part. This Mario game like doesn't push that far enough to where it's like such a train wreck that I'm like, oh man, I have to see what this is like. It's so stupid looking. It's just like, yeah, I mean, I'm sure I get the gist by looking at it. Like, I'm sure I understand. Like you were saying, it seems to be like a Tanuki power up. Like it seems to be the same thing. It's just
it's like
you probably climb around on stuff as a cat. Like
you probably use the power up a total of like 8 times in the game.
Well, then why do they fucking push it so hard on the box art?
Because it's like the new power up. It's like the same thing with like New Super Mario Bros. 2, where like they brought the Tanuki leaf back, and so all the promo material, Mario had a raccoon tail, or like New Super Mario Bros. Wii, they were really pushing Ice Mario. And like Mario Galaxy, they're pushing B Mario on all the stuff.
Oh, I don't like B Mario either. That's one that was the first. So Cat Mario is not this like all of a sudden
Mario power-ups you hate them.
Maybe we'll do that. Maybe next episode. I don't know.
This fits perfectly with the theme I was suggesting, because you could talk about the power-ups you don't like, and then we could both make new ones, and then talk about our reasoning behind.
Sure, that'd be good.
Dolphin Mario.
I feel like if we do the video of like our designs, then we can do the audio podcast portion. Like we can do a separate video that is the podcast where we do the tier ranking. Maybe that works.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. We'll see how much I cut out of all this. I don't know. Maybe it'll cut to this point right here and you'll have no idea what we were talking about.
We were talking shit about you behind your back.
But yeah, so this is the end of our Pokemon Past and Future series, part 5 of
this is the end of the series.
This is the end of the series. This is the end of part 5 of our series.
This is the end of the episode.
I
hope you enjoyed.
We've got 2 more episodes. Next week we will do a mulligan, a redo of something we didn't quite enjoy. We didn't feel like we had enough time to work on, or we want to redesign next week. And then after that is the most exciting episode. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The box art legendary in the story of our region and how it all kind of fits together. So I'm very excited for that. So 2 more weeks, hang in there with us, and then we will be diving into probably a new Nintendo focused series.
Okay. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, check out our other videos on our channel. Be sure to like and subscribe, and follow us at Desktopcast on all social media platforms.
Yep, and fuck Cat Mario. Thank you, and good night.